Audacity is recording.
Okay, my Audacity is now also recording.
Alright, hey, welcome.
Oh.
No!
God damn it! We didn't determine who was doing this! We're doing our new intro and we're managing it, and then we didn't! Boix! Boix! Fuck! Alright, you do it. I'm out. Fuck it! Do it!
I can't, I'm laughing. I can't.
Do it!
I'm laughing too hard.
Welcome to Rough Cuts, the podcast where we talk about good boys and bad movies. I'm Million, and this is Boix.
Yeah. Alright, and now for my song about politics.
No! So, Shaggy Dog started the song about politics, huh?
Yeah, it sure did. Okay, so the first, 5 seconds of the movie are, now let's sing about politics.
I'm gonna clean up the streets. We're gonna incarcerate all the criminals. And we're like, oh no!
Oh no.
No. Disney, no! I don't want to see it. Yeah, you love to see it.
Yeah, you just hate to see that. Did have some really good hand-drawn animation, title scene area, but, whatever.
Very 70s animation stuff. We were kind of talking about that, where there's, a lot of... if you know what it is, you can see it, where they do, a long frame, and then they just, they have the dog being pulled by balloons. And so but it's all hand-drawn, so what they do is they do, a long frame, zoom really, really close in on it, and then pull the frame down so it's animation, quote-unquote, right? It's just kind of a quick and dirty way to get an animation.
It's a cheap way to get something looking like it's moving without actually doing the animation frames of it moving. And it's a really cool technique. So I was actually very interested in seeing that. But that's not the reason why we watched the Shaggy DA. The main reason we watched the Shaggy DA, and let's be upfront about this, is because of a Twitter post of a dog punching a man.
It looks fucking amazing, man. It's so good. Out of context, that scene is incredible. And in context, that scene is incredible.
It's so
scene
good.
Is just so good.
Can't.
Start to finish. I love it.
There are so many dog hands in this movie.
There's so many dog hands. We've got a dozen different points where we're deciding to make GIFs out of this. There's a lot of GIFs.
They're all good.
Incredible reaction shots and stuff in this film. We are gonna, if you haven't followed the Twitter at Rough Cuts Cast, you need to check it out just for this one, because we will put up a bunch of these. I'm so excited about them. They're incredible. God.
I guess, should we talk about the plot as a whole, or do you want to talk about individual parts? Because I kind of just want to cut to each scene with the fucking dogs.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I want to talk about some of the plot just because, the plot, the one thing that this movie, it does a lot of things well, and then other things it just does incredibly poorly. But some of the stuff that it does incredibly poorly kind of doesn't matter, and that's why I almost want to talk about the plot, is just, there are vast scenes where it feels like they had more movie, and then they were just fuck it needs to be an hour and a half. And I kind of appreciated that and hated it at the same time, because it made it so this movie didn't overstay its welcome, but it makes some scenes kind of just go wait, what, we're here now? Oh, okay, this is what's happening now, got it. Why is this happening?
There are times where important plot points just kind of occur.
They just go.
But what led up to it didn't happen. So
yeah.
I guess they have that thing now. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, things just kind of go, and you're I appreciate that in terms of, this movie, like I said, did not overstay its welcome.
No.
It also makes it a little bit slapdash as to, okay, I guess that these people just now have the MacGuffin for a reason.
Right.
I don't know.
So every scene leading up to the point where we meet the ancient Egyptian MacGuffin is just okay, boomer, this is miserable. Why are we talking about this? I don't really care. And then, oh shit, MacGuffin time.
It goes real wild out of nowhere. You were a doubter. I
was very upset.
You were we need to have a backup movie because this movie is going to be so boring. It's from the 70s. What's going to happen? Do you now regret those words?
Yes, I would watch this movie again, actually.
Oh my god, I would watch this movie 3 times in a row. This movie's incredible. There's so much in it. There's so much. It starts out, like you said, it's so awful at the beginning, where it's all about, like, the guy is going to be like, oh, I need to get into politics to clean up the streets. And it's very...
It's like, it's a very vague clean up the streets. Like, what are you talking about? They're in suburbia white America with Skipper from fucking Gilligan's Island. And...
Yeah, their neighbor is just randomly this admiral guy with, like, all of this captain's stuff all over his house and, like, a ship bell for his doorbell. And none of that's explained, just kind of there, which I love. Like, I love some of that where they just don't bother to explain things or make up a backstory for somebody. It's just like, oh, yeah, that's the admiral. He's the guy next door. Sure, whatever, fuck it.
Whatever. Yeah, like, I'm glad they don't. You don't need to explain that. It's just a character. Yeah. That's fine. But the point is... Our main hero...
He gets robbed. And so
I guess he gets robbed, in a cartoon fashion, where some movers, quote-unquote, go into his house and take everything, and the neighbor's like, oh, there were those movers outside, I don't know who robbed you.
I gave them idiot. Some beers, and we had a good time, and
oh my
left.
God.
Yeah.
It was the 70s. That's going to show up a lot in this movie, by the way. It was the 70s, because holy shit.
This movie's so dated. It's incredible.
So they steal all of his shit, and then the family, the main character, his wife, and their fucking bastard of a child.
But hey, listen, you don't.
Who's a complete little shit.
Don't you dare smear that kid. That kid is amazing. This is one of the best kids that we've had in a film. Kid's
like a 1970s punk.
Yeah, it's amazing. He's like 8 years old, and he gets into all the most amazing shit. This kid is just a little shit disturber.
They fall asleep in their empty house after calling the cops, and the cops rightfully saying, we don't give a shit. Who cares if you got robbed? We'll be there later.
Like, call back, whatever. We don't give a fuck. It's great.
Yeah. So they go to bed in their house on the floor, and the robbers come back and steal all their clothes as well that they were wearing that day.
They
just to rub it in. Yeah.
Because they're laying on the floor of this bare house underneath a fur coat, and the guys come in and they take the fur coat off of them while they're sleeping.
Yeah. It's extremely cartoony.
Yeah, there's a lot of this movie that feels like it is a live-action cartoon. It's very Three Stooges, like that kind of, and there's like a lot of like
it's super slapstick for sure.
Jokes. Yeah. Like like I said, there's kind of a Looney Tunes vibe to it more than a few times. We'll get into that. There's the hello, my baby, hello, my honey.
So, right? Yeah, an alien chest popper comes out and starts dancing. Oh, that's Spaceballs. Fuck.
That's the reference I was going for. When the Shaggy Dog just rips through the ice cream truck man's chest.
The Shaggy Dog... Going. Oh my god, that'd been great. The Shaggy Dog does fit into the Spaceballs universe, to be fair.
There's an actor that's in Spaceballs in this movie.
That's true.
Yeah, one of the main characters.
So they get everything stolen. The guy gets upset and he's like, I'm going to run for DA because the GA and the cops are crooked and they're letting the criminals walk free and not do anything. Which, I mean, yeah, that's fair.
It's not like explained at all. Yeah. He just kind of knows that the DA is friends with all these criminals. Like, this is one of those things, again, where the plot just kind of happens because it's like, he knows that the DA is involved with, like, he knows the hideout of the criminals later on. He knows the name of the criminal. He knows everything about their entire operation. And
because
they never set any of that up. He just kind of knows it. And he's like, I'm going to take them down now because they robbed me. So now I'm angry. I didn't give a shit before, but now they've hit me and this is bullshit. Like, that's basically what it is. Yeah, he's an asshole.
So those same criminals go to the museum later for some reason, and they see a ancient Egyptian scarab ring on display, and they start asking the guy who's running the museum, hey, what's that? Is it worth anything? And they're like, oh, don't worry, it's priceless. So their eyes start lighting up with cartoon money, and I'm like, no, hold on.
Which, by the way...
Priceless means nobody can buy that thing, because everybody knows... What are you doing, you idiot?
No one will ever buy this. It's way too hot, and nobody with the money to pay what it's worth is going to get it because they're all going to be like museums and billionaires
that
know that it's stolen. Like, there's no way you can ever sell it.
And literally, these two idiot criminals sell it like 3 blocks away to somebody in their car, and another guy just randomly on the side of the street. They're absolute morons.
Well, I like that the movie kind of addressed it, though, because the first thing they do is they go down to the criminal guy who is...
Oh, Slade.
Later on introduced... Well, Slade is the district attorney, the bad district attorney.
Rorschach from
Eddie.
the...
Yeah.
Is Fast it Fast Eddie? I thought it was Rorschach.
It's Rorschach, something like
Rorschach?
that. It's kind of... It's not Rorschach, but it's like Rorschach. Rorschach.
Are you sure it's not the Watchmen?
Something like that, yeah.
Rorschach from the Watchmen.
Yeah, something like that. But anyways, so I think it's Rorschach.
Whatever. We could...
Something like that.
Okay, cancel the podcast. We're just going to say this name for the next 30 minutes.
God. We're going to pronounce it differently every time. Don't worry about it. It'll be very clear. So they try to sell it to him, and he goes, it's a ring with a scarab on it. And they're like, yeah, it's ancient, priceless stuff. And he's like, what am I going to sell it to? A fucking museum? You idiot. Yeah, he's like, you morons. And they're like, well, give us $1,000 for it. He's like, I couldn't give you $5 for it. No one's going to buy this piece of shit. And it's like, yeah, there you go. That's exactly it. He's like, it's way too hot. Everybody knows what this is, you dumbasses. So, like, I'm really glad they did that. So then they stuck selling it to the next... They go from their known
it's fence, a logical transition, yeah.
Yeah. They go from their known fence, who buys a bunch of their stolen stuff all the time, to the next logical person, the ice cream truck man.
Yeah, the ice cream man.
They just walk up to the ice cream truck man, and they're like, oh, you see, I'm from overseas, and I'm down on my luck. I've run out of money, you see. I'm Dr. Shaborni.
I'm an extreme intellectual man, and I will sell you this wonderful bug ring for only $500 in 1976.
In 1976, it was like $2,000. And the dude's like, I'm the ice cream truck driver, my dude. Like, the look he gives them is amazing. And then immediately they go like, okay, well, how about $5? It's like, you cannot fucking haggle. There's a consistent thing in this movie where no one knows how to haggle at all. It's real bad. It's incredible. So yeah, he sells the guy the ring for $5 because apparently that was worth their time.
Yes, he sells it for $5 specifically because the ice cream man is creeping on a girl that works with him.
Yes,
he wants to give it to her
in his truck.
Yeah, that's super weird.
Real weird. It's real weird.
It does come up later because it's a poster of her as a roller girl.
Yes.
And I actually didn't notice the foreshadowing there, oddly enough. But yeah, okay.
I mean,
was too creeped out.
This movie is really weird in that it foreshadows and sets up a lot of plot points, and then there's a lot of plot points that just happen because they need to happen. Like, the whole thing of them stealing the ring from the museum, there's no scene of them stealing it. They just go, how much is this worth? And then the next scene is them trying to pawn it. And it's like, oh, okay. I guess they have it now.
I guess. So why specifically is the scarab ring important? What does it do?
Well, apparently in the original Shaggy Dog, the main character in this one is Wilby Daniels, and it's the same character as in the first Shaggy Dog, and he somehow got in contact with the ring, and then when they read off the Latin, it turns him into a dog. And only him, for some reason, again, they don't explain a lot of things. Sure. Yeah, there's a lot of things they don't bother to explain, and again, I don't mind that. Some of that's okay, because they just kind of need to get the things rolling, and they just whenever anybody reads the inscription on this ring, then he turns into a dog.
But it's not even that he turns into a dog, it's that he merges with a shaggy dog that the ice cream man owns, and they become one being.
Yeah,
which is even really fucking weirder.
I know, because it's like, okay, so when he subsumes the form of this dog, does the dog become the man somewhere? Is the dog's consciousness just like in the back of his head? Like what happens? It just kind of hand waves that away, but it's pretty interesting. Yeah, for some reason.
But it's important. It's important specifically that he becomes that dog.
Yes.
Because that dog is owned by the ice cream man, which gets roped into this whole fucking thing.
Yeah, the ice cream man getting roped into this movie is a very strange plot point, and it's mostly there because the ice cream man is a famous comedian, Tim Conway, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like they wanted to have him in there, and he funny, man. So all right, ice cream dude, I guess is you're stuck in this, man. Plot point, right. You got to get in.
So the ice cream man buys the scarab MacGuffin, and at the same time, our main character is recording a TV, like, live, I guess, commercial to say, hey, I'm running for DA, vote for me.
Which nobody gives a shit about, right? Like, has anybody
Skipper
ever cared about a DA election?
Skipper does. Skipper was watching it on the TV on his front porch.
That's true. Everybody cares a lot in this movie.
Oh my god. But so the ice cream man reads the inscription on the scarab beetle ring to be like, hey, what the hell's that? And then at the same time, our main character starts like werewolfing out into a like sheepdog.
Yes.
With really cool makeup, actually.
They did a really good job of these transformation scenes. Like, they really get into, like, they've put cotton padding, like, all over this man. Like, it must have taken hours to get all of the stuff glued on him for most of these transformation scenes.
That's like a 4 or 5 hours in a chair type of thing, for sure.
Yeah, like, they do a lot of makeup on it. Like, they change his lip color to look more like a dog's. Like, they give him a nose. They do all kinds of things. And, like, they have, like, a progression of it, like, where he starts getting a little bit hairy, and then they have, like, the lips happen, and then the nose, and, like, bit by bit they do it. And it's a fairly good transition scene, especially for how old this movie is. It's really well
Not only do they have werewolf transitions, they also have a painting that denotes the legend of a dog, a suitor being turned into a dog. And in the background, if you look real close, you'll see a monster dog.
You'll see Alice Cooper holding
Alice Cooper holding a
peering out through the bushes. It's amazing. Yeah. It
like,
has that same feel as the monster dog painting. But yeah, they have a big story about that in the museum. In any case, so he transforms into a dog in front of the cameras, but like they kind of hide it, and they're like, "Oh, he must have slipped out." And the wife, he told earlier, "Oh, well, I heard about this ring being stolen, and oh my god, it can turn me into a dog." And she, what the fuck are you talking about?
She's rightfully thinking he's fucking crazy, of course.
She rightfully goes, "We'll never talk about this again." And he goes, "Okay." And I'm like, yeah, that's the way that you should react, yes. Yeah, she's an incredible character throughout this movie in a lot of different ways. There's
very
actually
deadpan.
A really good gag in here where they have her in front of the camera, and you are groaning because she's like just so wooden and awful. Yeah. Like, she's sitting there and she's like, "I like to make dinner for my lovely husband when he comes home," and she's like putting these flowers into a vase, and you're like, "Oh god,
one at a time."
70s thing. But the thing is, like, the movie actually makes fun of that, because, like, the guys in the background are doing, like, the sound and stuff, and they're like, "Get her off the screen!" Like, they're, like, making all these motions to cut, like, "Oh, God, she's awful! Take her away, please! Please do not let this woman talk anymore! She sucks!" Like, they actually do a really good job of that. I thought that was a really funny scene. Like, they had a good job of her just being super wooden in front of this camera, and just like, "I am loyal housewife," and all of the people are like, "Oh, God. This lady has no personality besides just being a housewife."
I mean, with everything else crazy happening, it's good to have a deadpan, like, straight-laced type of character.
Yeah.
Just to, like, counteract that. So it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, they do a good... they have some things in here that do a pretty good job of different things. There's some parts of her later that are, like, funny but not intended. But we'll get into that. I feel like her character goes down a little bit.
So the ice cream man meets back up with the dog, who is also our main character now, back at the ice cream truck, and the dog's like, "Hey, I'm talking now. I'm a talking dog."
Yeah, because he, like, runs out after the dog because the dog disappears, and he finds it, but it's now the guy. Yeah, he captures it. Yeah.
So the ice cream man immediate thought is, "Oh shit, I can make $1 million off of this dog."
Which
it talks.
Yes.
My God.
What I would do.
So his plan, because what happens after this is the guy turns back into the guy, the dog turns back into the dog, the inscription wears off for some arbitrary reason, And then the ice cream man takes his dog to the local bar and bets the barkeep $20 that his dog can talk.
Hello, my honey. Yeah. Hello, my ragtime girl.
And of course, it doesn't, because it's the regular dog, and it's just really awkward. And then he just kind of pays him $20 and leaves.
They make these scenes with him trying to get the dog to talk last so long that it gets to an uncomfortable
It's uncomfortable,
level.
Yeah.
It's real, like...
It's, like, desperate.
Yeah, there's a desperation that goes through these where it's... If you can handle that kind of, like... I hate to use the word because people have abused it so much, but that cringe kind of humor where, like, somebody's just super embarrassed about something... And you can handle that. This is probably really funny. I have a hard time watching some of that stuff. Like, I have to almost watch it through my fingers because I'm just like, oh god, I can just feel the pain of all these eyes on you as you're like, just floundering. And they really hold on it. They do it a couple times in this movie. And,
although him doing that does lead to a really good scene slightly later when he goes back to the bar, because there's a scene where after our main character is transitioned into the dog again, starts singing in the ice cream truck, and he's like, whoa, the dog can sing now too? I gotta go back to that bar and prove him I was right. And he takes the normal dog back. They obviously find out he's absolutely crazy, and then they just fucking chuck him out the door, saloon style, and then chuck the fucking dog after him.
They chuck the dog, too. And it's not like, it's DJ Jazzy Jeff style. Like, they get distance. This guy is doing a 720 spin when they throw him through the air. Like, obviously, it's not a stuntman even. Like, there's no way. No. It's a doll. But it is, they get some spin on this thing. Like, it is moving. This is one of the gifts we will show, because it's real good.
It's so good. It's so good.
So wild. I expected the guy to, like, get flying out. I did not expect the dog afterwards. That was real good. Like, just throw this cute dog right out. I do want to mention, really quickly, because that is what our podcast should be about, is us talking about movies with good boys. This dog is the best boy.
Oh, this dog is super cute. Yeah.
This dog is incredible. Like, they have it opening doors
tricks
all the time.
Yeah.
There's lots of little tricks. They do a lot of fake paw stuff, too, like, just constantly. They have... every time that the dog is, like, telling somebody something, they have it, like, moving these arms and stuff. Like, it's doing, like, hand motions. Like, it'll tell people to be quiet by, like, putting a hand on their lips. And it's just this dog paw. And, like, it's great.
I so much prefer the fake dog paw to, like, animating the mouth really awkwardly. Yeah. Not even close. Like, give me that fake dog paw. Just do it. Put it on a stick.
Charming.
I don't care.
There's something about it that... It looks bad, but it looks bad in a way that's fantastical, right? Like, it just kind of works in the films like this. Like, it just feels very magical reality, like, just kind of I don't know, it just has, like, this air of, like, a Mary Poppins thing or something, right? Like, it's this fantastic realism. There's something about it that just kind of works. Whereas, like, the mouth movements, they do a okay job of that with this movie. So when the dog's talking, they do this weird slow down, speed up loop thing. So, like, they'll get, like, a loop of the dog kind of panting, like, opening and closing its mouth, and then they'll loop it and rewind it to fit with the words that they want. And it ends up being very jerky and very low frame rate.
It's not good looking at all, but I prefer it to CG animated mouth.
I guess. I still think it's better because at least this way, it's not like a really tight shot of the mouth. Like, part of the problem with when they do the CG stuff is that they get the dog and they get it in a really, really, really tight shot, and then they put horrible green screen behind it, and then they kind of animate it that way, and it leads to scenes that have no dynamic in them. Like, there's nothing that can move. Like, they have to be very stiff. And this is at least a little bit better because it kind of jumps back and forth a little bit. They can have the dog in different angles and stuff. Like, the dog doesn't have to be a tight shot. They can kind of have it further back and stuff.
like, you know that the dog isn't talking, but you also don't get the uncanny valley effect of it being, like, creepy.
And, like, it makes it a little bit less stiff, even though it's still stiff, but it's still less stiff, because here there's at least a couple of different angles and stuff that they can go at it from, whereas when they do that green screen mouth one, like, for some reason they always just do, like, this very tight, centered shot. Like, that's the only one they seem to do when they do that one. For a lot of movies that we've watched, it's been the same shot every time. It's dog main center of the shot, green screen all around it, and just, like, super, super tight close-up. And that's what they do, and they just go back and forth between dogs that way. And there's no backgrounds or anything then. Like, you just
they blur out the background. It's not good.
Yeah, it doesn't have any setting and stuff. It just ends up stripping away a lot of that.
Let's talk about a couple scenes, because we set the stage of the ring transforming the guy, and the shaggy dog happens. So the ice cream man gives the ring to his quote-unquote girlfriend, person he's stalking.
It's just a stalker. He's just a stalker. He says, like, oh, like, I want to, my girlfriend, she's like, we just went, she's like, are you giving me a ring? I looked at you
the movie even addresses it.
Dude. Like, she even
like,
says,
like, I waved
like,
at you, fuck off, dude.
She looked at him once at a roller derby thing and winked, and she's like, dude, that's the only way that I know you. I wasn't even there with you. Please leave me alone. He's just an incredible creeper.
It's gross, but let's talk about the pie scene.
Yes.
The pie scene is very good. So later on in the film,
she takes the ring.
Yeah, she takes the ring. She works at a pie factory, which is the same place that the ice cream guy goes back to pick up ice cream, I guess, or something.
Yeah, like some kind of catering service or whatever.
Some sort of coworker thing.
Yeah.
But the ring has been lost. She no longer has it, and it fell into a pie that she was making.
Yeah, so they assumed that it must have been in a pie.
The main character's like, dude, I will give you $1,000 in 1976 money to get that ring back to me. It's like, 1,000? I don't care, 2,000. I'll raise it.
Yeah, immediately. And like
Wait a minute.
Like, no one in this movie can haggle. Nobody has any idea what money is worth. Yeah. $2,000. We looked it up. I checked two different calculators. Mine said $13,500 about.
Mine was 9,000, but yours is probably more accurate.
Like, what? Yeah, I mean, I checked on two, and they're about the same. They were like $20 off. So it's like, I mean, around 10 grand at least in money. It just raises it from 5 to 10 grand like that. Like, they were already going to get it for $1,000, dude. They bought the ring for $5. It was amazing.
So everybody in the factory is like, wait, did you just say you would give us $2,000 for finding a ring? I'll find the ring. And it starts this like huge fucking hysteria riot in this pie factory. So they go, apparently they're making pies for an auction to like raise money for some sort of, I guess, city affair.
It's for the guy's campaign. It's for the other DA.
Oh, the DA, the original DAs.
Yes. The dirty
that
DA,
they're trying to,
it's his pie raising. Like, he's trying to like do a fundraiser. Yeah.
So in the background of that is the pie room, and everybody in the pie factory breaks into the pie room and starts digging through all the pies that they're gonna sell, and none of them are finding it. So like somebody throws a pie at one person, and then they throw a pie at one person, and then they throw a pie, and it just turns into this huge, massive, like 50-person pie fight.
This scene's great because nobody's acting in it. Nobody's acting in it. People are actually getting hit in the face with pies, and they're like crying when they get hit because like it looks like it hurts. Like the one woman who lost the ring, like she's the first one to get hit by this pie, and her face just immediately turns beet red, and she starts like basically wailing.
She flinched.
I think she actually got hurt. Like I think that like, it looked like it broke her nose or something. Like she does not act that. That looks like very legit. Like. Man, you just fucking nailed this lady, and it's great. So all the people are just smashing each other with pies, and it's the general kind of Three Stooges slapstick kind of shit that you'd expect. And he's running in and he's going like, ladies, like throwing pies at each other isn't going to solve this. The two crooks that first stole the ring are walking by the window outside for some reason, and they look in because they see this pie come by. They get hit in the face with the pie, and of course that's the one with the ring. So they're like, I don't know, I guess we sold the ring again. They kind of wander off, and the DA guy walks in smoking a big cigar, and of course gets a pie smashed in his face with the cigar still going. A little bit of smoke puffs through the pie. It's great. Little slapstick moment. And then in another moment of like this little kid being a great shithead,
God, he's
the
such
guy
a
like
little
leaves
shit.
me like, you assholes, like you're ruining my thing. I'm gonna get you, kind of thing. Like you'll be done. And he walks out of the room, and as he does that, the kid, like, no-scopes him from behind, and then just, like, walks away whistling with his hands behind his back, like, just totally nonchalantly does it. It's incredible. Another thing the kid did earlier, too, is that when he bought stuff from the ice cream man, he just, like, when the guy turns his back, he, like, just kind of tags the guy's van with a bunch of, like, elect my dad for DA signs, and he, like, keeps on postering over the other man's election signs with his own dad's. It's amazing.
What an asshole. It's great.
Shithead. He's great. Yeah, so, like, there's a lot of little subtle scenes of this kid just being a shit. Just doing shitty things. He's always skateboarding around with, like, these wireless headphones. I love him. Yeah,
that kid's great. Okay, so the bad guys, the two crooks, have the ring again because, whatever, fuck it. And they try to pawn it off to another random guy.
Yeah, to a guy in his car. They just walk up to the guy in a car and just go, hey, would you like to buy this ring?
A cop, by the way. Who just takes the ring and then immediately lets the criminals go because they're white, so they can't have done anything.
Yeah, he just lets them go. He's just like, oh, give me that ring, guys. You can't keep stolen property.
So the ring gets brought to the police station. The main character's like, oh, did you find my ring that's owned by the museum that I definitely also am involved in? And the cops are like, what the fuck are you doing? It's not yours? What?
Yeah, they're like,
hello?
Sure. Whatever.
So the museum guy gets the ring back and starts talking about the legend of the ring turning somebody into a dog, as the assistant to the DA is also at the police station. And the DA is like, hey, wait a minute. Didn't our main character also disappear when there was a dog appearing in different places before? Wait a second.
Yeah, and, like, he's in the corner of the room at this point, and, like, as they're reading off the inscription, he goes like, fuck. And the wife, I love the wife's reaction to this. Yeah. It's fucking classic. She just, like, rolls her eyes and she goes, okay. And just, like, picks him up and, like, just has a dog and just, like, hides him and walks out of there. And just, she just does it, like, so deadpan and so exasperated, like, this is just a regular Monday.
Supernatural powers. You see this inscription?
Oh no!
Come on.
Stop it.
It's a
there goes Pop again.
Into a dog's body.
Will mean.
I love him.
Exactly.
The mom is just like so done with this shit.
Come on, yeah.
Poison,
it's just like, god damn it.
Alright, boy. Heal.
She's exasperated. I love her energy in this.
Yeah.
And so the shady assistant to the actual DA sees this and is like, and puts it all together, and he's like, and then they just hand wave that he now has the ring. He just
I don't know how we got the ring, because the cops don't even have it. It's the owner of the museum. They gave it back to him.
You would
the whole scene was him holding the ring and talking about it.
Yeah, he holds the ring and talks about it and explains it, and then he gives it back to the cops. And the guy that's sitting there watching this goes like, and connects all the dots. Yeah. And then he's in the room with the DA going like, here, I have this ring that'll turn him into a dog. And it's like, wait, what?
Right.
Okay, I guess. And they never explain that. They don't go back to that at all.
No.
This is one of those scenes where it really feels like they chopped out a bunch of scenes where they established this.
They had to have cut a scene there. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Because it doesn't flow at all.
What I will point out, though, is after this scene, every single fucking scene of the rest of the movie is pure gold.
Oh,
every scene. There's not a frame of animation that is not pure gold.
No, and there's so many gags even that we've already missed. Like, I guess not gags. Like, some of them are intended, some of them aren't. Like, one of them is, like, the DA guy. He has his crime phone in, like, a
the crime
box.
Phone.
Like, he has a red light on his desk that lights up when he's getting a crime call so he can do like his dirty deals, and then he just like pulls a box out from under his desk, pulls out a hidden phone, and like that's his crime phone. He
pulls it out from his car later too.
Yeah, it's incredible.
He just always has a phone right next to him. Like, it's great.
He just has crime phone, so if crime guy needs to call him, he has a special hidden box phone somewhere. It's like fucking Get Smart. Like he's got like this shoe phone everywhere. It's incredible. So yeah, it's just, I don't think that was intended as a gag, but it's just such a great trope from this time. It's very Batman kind of like, or like Get Smart.
It's super Batman 66, yeah.
Yeah, very that style. It's just awesome.
So the villain DA calls our good guy main character into the office. Is like, hey, you should drop out of the race, bro. And the guy's like, nah, dog, I'm good.
Nah, dog, I see what you did there.
Dog.
Thanks.
And then the bad DA is like, okay,
dog indeed.
I'll read this inscription then. Haha.
Yeah, and turns him into a dog.
Yeah, it's really good. And then, all right, hey, by the way, assistant,
best scene in the movie,
you need to call the dog catcher. I already did. Don't let that dog go. Get out of my way. And he punches him in the fucking face.
Okay, so to be clear, when you say he punches him in the fucking face, what you mean is the dog jumps up, puts its paws on this guy's shoulder, and then they take a second fake paw and slug the dude.
Yeah.
This real dog has a fake dog paw punch this man in the face as he runs out. And then the dog, there's a stuntman in a dog suit that runs out, jumps out the window, grabs a rope and slides down it in like this whole fursuit. It's incredible. I love this scene. Yeah. It's so good.
And then the dog chasers and the DA assistant are running after him. So he steals a newspaper from a guy asleep on like a bench and then spreads it out cartoon style to hide that he's there.
And puts like a hat on, like takes the guy's hat.
There's still dog hands.
Yeah,
there's still dog hands though.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
His like doggy paw hands are holding this newspaper so he can hide on the park bench, and there's like a whole bunch of different things in this chase scene. Like he hides in a trash can and different things like that. Eventually they catch him.
Yeah, they do catch him. What I don't remember if that. I think the derby happened before they caught him though. I want to say that it did.
No, like this is a very extended chase scene. So like there's this big chase scene where for like a long stretch of this movie, he's kind of going from spot to spot being chased. Oh no, the chase scene happens afterwards because that's when he first captures the ice cream guy and ropes him into it too. That's what happens.
Yeah.
So like he kind of escapes for now and gets back to the house, and then he talks to his wife, and this is where, oh my god, there's a couple of scenes where her deadpan stuff is an asset and not an asset.
Yeah.
Because he comes in and he goes like, honey, like, I'm on the lam. Like, they're chasing after me. They want to catch me. They're going to get rid of me so that they can maintain that they're the DA kind of thing. And he's like, they're going to rub me out. They're going to kill me. And she goes, oh no. In exactly that tone. Like, just the most deadpan. You're like, he just said that they're gonna murder him, and he's a dog. Her reaction is just, that sounds real bad. Are you having a bad day, honey? Would you like to have some casserole? Like, it's totally that like level of anxiety out of her. It's wild.
Unless I can get it back, he's gonna rub me out.
Rub him out, see?
No.
And then he gets a disguise from the house.
Yeah, he gets a disguise. Well, okay, so I'm 100% sure the derby happens before this, because when he gets the disguise, he talks the ice cream man into going to the DA's office to say, hey, you're cut out of the deal, friend. But the derby happens way before that. I think that's during the initial chase scene before he gets to the house.
No, I don't think so. The ice cream man is at the derby. Because the ice cream man is at the derby.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Positive.
Well, let's talk about what happened.
The ice cream man's at the derby. Because that's also like he sees the girlfriend there and stuff, right? Like in the ice cream man.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
He's definitely there. So it happens later. But like, so he managed. What happens? This is another really wonderful scene. I want this to be a gift too.
Yeah.
Because he's kind of in his disguise as a dog with his trench coat and a hat to act like a guy, which it's not. It's super obvious. Like this
it
is
looks
a dog
really
in a trench
bad.
coat.
Yeah,
it's real good. So he's running around in this trench coat and stuff, and the ice cream man's just still looking for his dog. So he's running around with like a collar, and he's like, "Elwood, where are you, Elwood?" And then out of the bush comes this fake dog paw and just grabs this man and slams him into the ground. Just fucking like stone cold stunners, or just wrestling move slams him into the dirt. And he's like, okay, I'm not your dog. I'm actually the DA, or like the DA hopeful kind of thing. I'm a lawyer, and I'm this person, and explains the whole situation and ropes the dude into it. They had like, oh god, I feel like we're skipping some of this because I feel like that happened after he escaped, right, from the jail.
The detective dog stuff? Yes, it did.
Yeah, it does happen after
the derby
that.
stuff. Yeah.
So the derby stuff happens after that. Okay, so like this is hard because there's like two big chase scenes that kind of mesh into each other. What happened is, so he didn't make it back to the house before that. He gets caught before that. He has a big car chase scene where he steals the van. Like, so he doesn't get the disguise and stuff yet, actually. What happened first is that he goes on a big chase scene throughout that whole thing of like
with different cops and
all the cops are after him and everything. Yeah.
Dog catchers.
That's going on. He manages to hijack the ice cream truck, and he gets the ice cream guy to like throw ice cream at the cops behind him.
That was as he was leaving the derby. He took the truck because it was parked there. I'm right. Yes.
Was it?
Yes, because the ice cream guy was parked, and then he steals the car after the derby.
Maybe?
It's 100% what happened.
As the dog, maybe.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
he goes and he makes it into the derby as like a contestant.
There's a roller derby. We need to talk about the roller derby.
They all blur together because there's such a wild like 30-minute chase scene.
Yeah, so the dog's running away. Our main character. Yeah. He sneaks into the ladies' locker room of a roller derby. And then gets outfitted completely in roller derby clothes, helmet, and skates.
Yes.
And then jumps onto the track on 2 feet as a human.
Yes.
Going in a loop around the derby track. So the dog catchers have this huge net, and they're trying to catch him as he goes around. And he eventually just breaks out of the derby and goes through a door. And then skates into the truck where the ice cream guy is like, "You're stealing my truck," and jumps into the back.
Yeah.
Yes.
The derby girls like launch him out of the arena.
Yeah,
it's
they
amazing.
throw him out. They
throw him at like 20 feet in the air up over the edge of like, the guardrail for the derby and just out the arena. It's incredible.
Yeah. And then after that, there's the whole chase scene with the cops and everybody following after and all the cars running into each other. And
they have like
and
a bunch of
that eventually, that eventually leads to our dog ending up in a tree, surrounded by cops, with one of the dog catchers having a very fake elephant gun tranquilizer.
Yes, very, very, very fake, and they don't know how to fight.
And that's where he gets caught. Yeah.
So of course they accidentally shoot the DA. Who
right in the butt.
There directing them catching a dog.
Yeah.
Which
none of the cops are asking anything, by the way. It's just, we gotta get the dog. Yeah.
Yeah. The DA's out just helping the cops catch a dog on a high-speed chase, like DAs do.
We're finally back on track in this very logical movie. So now we're in dog.
It just jumps all over the place. Like, it's incredible to watch, and it's fun, and it's not boring. But man, it makes no fucking sense. It just kind of happens. There's a lot of shit that just goes.
So now we're in sad Green Mile dog jail. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is dark. This gets real
this.
Dark. They have an actual electric chair. They do a Green Mile scene where like they have like bolted iron doors and it's like this dark, horrible, dank cell with all these dogs in it, and the dogs are like singing this. One dog's like, swing low.
Oh, well, we need to talk about that a little bit, because apparently, after our main character is turned into a shaggy dog, he can also talk to dogs.
Yeah, they just kind of
for some reason.
That. Yeah.
But yeah, we have the dog singing Sweet Low, we have blinking lights, we have a dog digging a hole underground to get out of the jail, we have another dog who's like, "Hey dog, see? I'm the crime dog."
Yeah, my favorite dog.
I'm a dog who should have a cigar in my mouth, see?
The mobster dog is so good. He's, oh yeah, see, we're gonna help out. We're gonna break out of here, you see?
Yeah. Oh, that poor bastard, he was only in here for 10 minutes and they're already calling the governor to put him in the chair, see?
Yeah, so the DA calls the governor who calls the dog pound to kill the dog.
Yeah.
Which, okay, sure. And when they, like, go to get him, they turn on the electric chair, and it, like, makes the lights flicker and everything.
Yeah,
like,
it's not a pleasant sight, no.
No, it's this whole, like I said, it's a Green Mile thing. Like, they do this whole thing. But when he goes to put him in the chair, the dog turns around and talks to the guy and goes, like, sit, stay. And he just does it because the movie needs him to. And they're kind of just slapstick idiot characters is the reasoning of this. It's very cartoony. So he sits the guy down, and then the other guy walks in and goes, oh, gee, what are you doing shitting on the floor? And he's like, the dog told me to.
Why was he shitting on the floor? Wait a minute.
I didn't say that. I did not.
Okay, hold on. I don't remember the scene where the guy drops trow and shits on the floor because the shaggy dog told him to. Jesus Christ.
So the shaggy dog goes and rescues all the other dogs, and they tunnel out. They have another fake paw scene of the dog, like, digging its way out of the dirt. So they have, like, this dirt and this fake dog paw kind of poking through the dirt as they do this great escape scene of them getting away. And then he goes back to his house. That's when
this is where Detective Dog comes in now. Finally, yes.
So then he comes in. He goes to the house. He's in the trench coat and fedora, like we were talking about. And that's where he jumps from the bush, captures the ice cream truck guy, just ropes him in again. He's already taken him on this high-speed chase and kidnapped him, had him get arrested and, like, bailed out of jail. And now he grabs him again and is like, all right, I need you because for some reason, you're the only person that can help me, I guess. Not his wife or kid or anything. Just kind of kidnaps this poor lout. Ropes him in.
So then they hijack a bicycle. The dog is riding the bicycle, and the man is sitting in the basket. Or whatever. Yeah. And it's super weird.
It's real strange. It's great. There's a lot of scenes that I'm like, I don't know if they realized this was as funny as it is, or if it was just like they didn't know what they were doing, but it's incredible. The scene of him, like, with a fake dog paw, kind of like rubbing up and down on this guy's shoulder.
Yeah.
Like, grinding around with the bicycle, right? And the guy,
the bicycle is to the warehouse.
Yeah, so they go and they sneak into the bad guy's warehouse, which for some reason he just knows. Like, we said that before. Like, he knows where the warehouse is. He knows who the guy is.
I guess.
All that. Yeah. He sets it up by having the ice cream truck guy go to the DA's house and be like, Fast Eddie says that you're not on the gravy train anymore. You gotta go talk to him. So we're cutting you out, DA guy. You're no longer our crime dude. And so they want to set it up so that they can then sneak into the warehouse and catch him being angry at the other dude and admit that they're in cahoots. So yeah, they sneak into the warehouse. The kid also just sees them and decides to follow and sneaks
follows them for no reason, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was the 70s, so they let the kid into the warehouse with all the murder people.
Yeah. No
with
problems
them
here.
As they sneak in. And the most important part of the warehouse is the Skyrim NPC.
God, it's amazing.
Because so they randomly find a bunch of, like, cassette recorders, because whatever. And they're messing with it.
Cassette recorders.
Yeah, they're messing with it. They're like, oh, how do we record with this thing? You know, the big red record button? And our idiot ice cream man hits the play button, and it starts playing the Star Spangled Banner extremely loudly, apparently.
Which he tries to shut on to muffle.
Yeah, he's like puts it in his coat pocket, sits on it, does everything but turn it off like a fucking idiot. And then the guard for the warehouse walks out of, like, a door.
Well, it was the owner. It was the Rorschach guy.
Was it that guy? Okay.
Rorschach, yeah. It wasn't the guard
He walks out, he looks around, he's like, must be the wind, and then goes back.
Turns around and just walks right back in. It's like, I think you might want to check that out in your stolen goods warehouse, but, what do I know? Just like loud music. No. Often the wind blows through here and sounds like a big brass band playing the Star-Spangled Banner at high volume.
Yeah.
It's just normal warehouse noises. It's the building settling. Don't worry about it.
So, after that, they knock out the actual guard, I guess, in the stupidest way possible.
Yes. They have the ice cream truck man walk up to him in this guarded warehouse, and he doesn't just immediately, arrest him or shoot him or anything like that.
No.
He goes, "Oh, your fliggers and the floggers is the flogging at the floggers snorker. And if you don't fix it, then your floggers knocker will be a clorsnork." I am not joking. That's exactly what he does.
That's what's written. Yeah, that's what
the guy goes "Oh, okay, I guess I should follow this strange man through this warehouse around the corner into an obvious ambush. No problem."
You shouldn't forget that he said, "Oh, and leave that knife here."
Yeah, because the guy was cutting up salami with this big knife, and he's really worried about it. So he goes, "Leave the knife," and just wanders off.
Right.
So the guard just kind of goes, "I guess I should follow this madman through my warehouse quietly with no idea that this might be a setup."
So they knock him out by dropping something on his head.
They drop a cardboard box on his head and knock him out.
With nothing in it, yeah.
Yeah, very obvious empty cardboard box, yeah.
And then the dog, at this point, sneaks into the office. Mm-hmm. Our bad DA shows up. They record them having a very shady, very obvious conversation that's incredibly incriminating, of course.
Yes.
And then the dog runs out with the recording.
Yeah, he goes into the office and he goes,
right?
"I think the other guy is probably onto us. He's probably trying to record us saying things together in a room. So don't cut me out of our criminal enterprises, you see, because that would be..." It's he immediately acknowledges that the guy's probably after him and probably trying to set this up, and he goes, "Oh, it seems like it might be a setup. But don't you dare cut me out of our criminal stuff that I'm absolutely involved in 100%. If my name is John Slade, District Attorney for this town, then you better not cut me out." Just sets the whole thing up. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, very stupid.
So they run out. They immediately start shooting at him from the office. Because they have a gun, apparently. That was quick. And then...
Yeah, instant. It's because you say it like that, and it doesn't really do it justice.
No.
He looks out and he goes, "There's the dog!" And they're both just standing there. And then it immediately goes here, bang, bang, bang! And you're like, "Whoa, wait, what? They've got guns?" They didn't have...
Yeah.
They're just standing there with their hands in their pockets, and, literally... half a second later, there's a bunch of gunshots all over the place, and you're like, "Oh, shit, okay, we're just escalating to here now, I guess." Good thing he's got his son here, huh?
Yeah, good thing. That kid... It was the
seen some
70s,
shit.
man. It was the 70s. Sometimes you take your kid to a murder warehouse with people with guns. It's fine.
He just had to walk up hills both ways to school in the snow. Kids these days, they aren't like they were back in the 70s.
So, for some reason, the dog curse wears off. They get into a Jeep that was stolen, right? Because they get the ring back.
It's because he gets the ring back, and so they can't read the ring anymore. So,
how did he get the ring back? Oh, the dogs from the pound stole it.
Yes. What happens
is...
Meow,
see? We helped you, see?
Yeah. He's about to get shot, and then the dogs from the pound jump on the guys, knock the shot wide. And then they run up to him, and the little dog goes, "Yes, sir, see, we got this ring, see?
I'm a criminal dog,
because
see?
we help out our own, see, here in the mob, see?" Yeah, this dog is amazing.
This dog is the best.
It's the best. It's so good.
So they steal a Jeep, they go through the repainting thing, and get covered in orange paint.
Yeah, there's a repainting thing in the garage, they back into that, they get painted orange.
Do they drive through a
pillows?
Yeah, is it like a crate of pillows, or are they just... Why are there pillows?
Something like that. Yeah, it feels like it was pillows, but it could have been, I don't know, it's just a bunch of bags of feathers, I guess. And
then they make an escape covered in orange paint and feathers.
Yeah.
I guess. So the DA starts running after them with his assistant in tow in their car. They run a red light, which is illegal, fucker. The cops notice it because they had a fucking speed trap, fuckers. And they pull him over. The DA starts, like, sort of looking weird in the back. And he's like, hey, just tell him I'm the DA and it's official business. So the cop asks, the assistant's like, yeah, the DA's in the back of the car, dummy. They look back, and it's like a bulldog.
But it's actually the bulldog smoking a cigar, which is great. Yeah,
because he turned into a dog, I guess. Yeah. But not a shaggy dog. That would be weird. Just another dog.
They kind of set this up earlier where the museum guy kept on saying, he's like, oh, I don't like to read out this inscription very much because if you read it too much, you might accept the curse into yourself. And because he's been reading the curse off over and over and over and over to hex the other guy, then I guess that it hexed him instead, is the idea, I guess.
And then the movie ends.
Yeah, then the movie ends. It just ends like, oh my god. It's kind of incredible because he goes back home and he's like, oh, like, I'm back to normal. And she's like, oh, I love it. I'm so glad you're home. He gives her a kiss, and she's kind of like, oh god, you're covered in
full of paint and feathers, by the way.
It does have a little bit of an ending where it kind of like cuts to next day or sometime in the future. Like there's a bit of a time skip here, and it shows the ice cream man out with his now girlfriend roller derby girl, which is real creepy because man, he's super stalker with her. And he's like, oh, we should invite people over for our wedding celebration kind of thing. And he's like, we need to make sure that we give them the invite. And then he shows them walking all the dogs. And he's like, all right, let's go and get some steaks so that we can invite everybody. And they stand up, and he's got all the dogs on a leash.
Because he adopted all the pound dogs,
Yeah, all the pound dogs.
And I don't know what happened to the bad DA, or
if they won the election.
Or if they won the election. Or if they got all their stuff back because their house was robbed. Or...
Yeah, what happened to the two criminals that robbed their house and took the ring in the first place.
What about the Rorschach guy? Is he
the other villain that was the guy that owned the warehouse? No idea about him. Does anything happen to the assistant DA? No, who knows?
None of that's important. The movie ended. No. We're done.
Then the movie's over. They kept it at a tight 1:30. Like, they wanted an hour 30 minutes and not a minute more. This is like an hour 31 runtime, right? And they just chop out everything extraneous. Yeah, there's no credits. No. It just says the end, and then the movie stops, and we were just like, all right, like there's nothing else here. No questions to be answered. That's done. That's how you finish a movie, you motherfucker.
Yeah, that's a fucking end movie. Get the hell out of our theater, asshole.
Get out of the theater. Take your goddamn popcorn and get out of my goddamn theater. Because you get out of my theater. It's 11 o'clock at night. I want to go home.
Like it's what the ending of Cats should have been. Yes. It just fucking ends and tells you to fucking leave. But it didn't.
Get the fuck home. Nobody wants you to watch the credits. We're not even putting them in. Get the fuck out.
Oh my god.
I need to clean up and go home to my wife. I'm tired of operating this theater in the 70s. It's incredible.
I will say we don't normally rate a movie at all.
No.
But I would actually recommend this movie. I
love this movie. This movie was great. Yeah. And I'm going to rate this dog. I want to say that for once, we finally found a dog that might actually beat out Satan Dog, that might beat Greta. This dog...
But she loves Satan so much.
This dog has a lot of real rad stuff, though. Does Satan Dog roller derby? Because if Satan Dog ain't roller derbying, it ain't in this race, friend.
Yeah.
They have, like, a good green screen shot, too, of, like, a close-up of the face of the dog in, like, a helmet and outfit against, like, a green screen backdrop of, like, a roller derby rink. It's incredible. There's so many good little shots. It's great.
I would rate this dog 2 fake dog paws out of 10. I feel like we have to rate the boxer dog from the pound. I'm gonna rate him a 1 criminal affair out of 10. See?
Normally, I hate the fact that they have talking dogs. Like, I don't like the talking dogs for the most part. It always ends up in this uncanny valley thing. And the way that they had to get them to talk in this one was pretty awful. It wasn't the worst that we've seen, far from it. But it was very jerky and weird the way that they did it. But man, like, they knew that they had some really, really cute dogs in this, and they took full advantage of it. They had them opening doors with their paws. Like, this Shaggy dog is constantly, like, holding up, like, he does, like, when the dogs are escaping from the pound, like, they hijack the animal control van, and he, opens the door for all the other dogs, and it's, like, the actual dog doing it. And all the other dogs run in the back, and then he closes the door and, like, opens the door in the front. Like, there's a lot of really great moments. They just let this dog do its thing. It's a really well-trained dog. It's super cute. And they have it just, like, sit there and be front and center for a lot of great scenes. It's fantastic. I loved that. Oh, what a good dog.
You know what else is great? All of our listeners.
All the people that help us.
Yeah.
All right, you should follow Rough Cuts Cast. We have a Twitter account that we like to put up a bunch of GIFs and stuff from in the movie. This is one that you really need to see. A lot of the GIFs and stuff from this movie, because we're going to make some good ones. I want to use these forever. This movie has so many great little moments of fake dog paws. I'm so tickled by this movie. For a long time, I'll admit, I had started to be like, why are we doing this show? Because there's been some real garbage recently, my dude. But this movie is redemption on so many levels. I love this movie. And I'd love to share it out with all of you. So definitely follow Rough Cuts Cast. I really appreciate all the people who already do and retweet all of our stuff. We only have word of mouth to spread this out on. It means a whole lot for you to listen and share it out to other people. We've cracked over 1,000 downloads, which is kind of amazing.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we had by far our best month was last month. We had like 250 downloads.
That's crazy.
It was less than a year. It's been like 8 months. Yeah, so I mean, fantastic. It really helps us out a lot. We are thinking of launching a Patreon, so we will put that up on some of the show notes and in the Twitter, just to help us with some of the costs for these, because we are renting these out. Like, this isn't going to make us a lot of money or anything. We're not expecting a whole bunch, but, you know, if you want to give us a buck or two.
In that dog movie money, you don't understand.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, thank you for listening.
Yeah, we'll see you another week soon.
Merci.
All right, you guys. Curly's out. We make the break without him, see?